All right, good morning, good morning. We'll get going in a few minutes. All right, give a couple minutes for people to get in here. Good morning, welcome. Let's get it. All right, so we will be doing our thing, of course, live analysis to help you understand what the heck is going on in the market so you can make better decisions while you trade. Have a little fun. We'll start in a minute or two. Give people a chance to get in here because we'll do our analysis from the beginning. We'll do our whole analysis. All right. What's up, guys? How are you? Wixie Wixie. Good morning, good morning. Good evening or good afternoon. Are we getting in here? Everybody's late today. You're going to say, Pete, what's going on? I'll say, I just explained it before you got here. Ah, there we go. Yeah. People start popping in. There we go. Good morning. Feeling good to listen to your voice, sir. Cool. You'll get plenty of that. All right, so let's see where we are. Feels like it's been a while because, I actually did trade on Thanksgiving, you big U.S. holiday. Was it Thanksgiving morning? Yeah, it was. We were in the Discord, and I caught 3 wins that morning. I wasn't even planning on trading that day. Well, one was really small, but yeah, 3-0. That was a nice little hang early Thanksgiving morning. Have not looked at the charts since then. London hour trade. Oh, you're right. Let's look at it real quick. You got 1 minute. Like I say, I'm filtering that, with the rest of my analysis. Just you probably know this, Wixie. Just so everybody knows, there was a video teaching that trade, and now I'm working into what I'm with the rest of my stuff here. So there's the high-low first hour. Okay, nothing at the moment to jump into or worry about. Okay, and this, just remove. I forgot about that trade. I'm so used to just my routine. It's not, it's still new. But thanks for the reminder. We'll see if that sets up and if I want to take it or what with the London hour trade. EJ, yeah, EJ was the one on Thanksgiving morning, right? I was like, the market's looking kind of dead. The only thing possible is maybe the EJ on the pullback. EJ pulls back, drops 60 pips in a straight line. Like, okay, well, that was easy. There was the Eurodollar long, and then I'm like, no, I don't like it because the main thing supporting that trade was London open volume, which can be deceptive. So, okay, that's marked. We'll see if we break out and what it looks like. But meanwhile, I need to get caught up on the storyline, the background, what phase are we in, right? All these things. Where's smart money positioned from? In what direction? Are they getting in? Are they getting out? What are they doing? Potential buys? All right, let's see. At first glance, it looked like the market kind of took a break from everything activity-wise. It just kind of took a breather here. It took a break. You see the volume just generally low. Remember, it started off with buying and selling close together on this day. And I said, okay, we're probably going to range off of that. And then we really look at the volume just drop. And, of course, price went nowhere since then. We're still there. So it's took a little break. That almost looks like, the end of December or something, the way volume dropped off there. So it's likely coming back this week, especially on news and U.S. session. But, I'm looking at this as background saying, okay, where's the high volume? What is it telling me about, right, smart money positions and stuff? I mean, since we had this mixed day, we knew it at the time, buying and selling close together, right? Go back to that day, the live stream. But since that mixed environment, right, gets stuck in the middle, we haven't had much volume. So we're looking at our background, right? And that's mixed. We have this, a bit of stuff here. We can get into more detail, but keeping in mind that it's not high volume, right? If we're talking about from a VSA perspective, smart money activity, what are they doing? They took a little break, right? They didn't position that much over this period, right? The pre-positioning. So that's the first thing to just notice. Like, we could get high volume finally that we haven't seen in a while, and that is going to really set things going forward. Also, it is, right, this Friday is the first week of the month, which is Thursday is the first, right? And non-farm employment numbers, U.S. and all that. And it's not the greatest week of the month, but that doesn't mean it's not sometimes perfectly fine, but especially as we get near Friday. But that's the first thing I notice is there's not a lot of high volume points. Maybe that's just the euro dollar. Maybe there's other high volume points. We see some here, but generally you see a slowdown in the activity. So just to point that out, there's no big positioning on some of these. Certainly euro dollar. So it's all kind of relative there. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? We're looking at that. Let's be organized. Second thing is looking at the structure, the trend structure, right? Is it trending? Is there a momentum to that trend? Obviously not here. It's going sideways a couple of weeks. Here, well, we went into new high ground. I guess you can call it an uptrend structure. It's not a lot of momentum to it. We've actually come down the last couple of days, so we're not like in the middle of a strong momentum or anything. This is an area that could, especially seeing lack of any selling up here. And what happened on this volume? What was that? At that time of day? What is this, late Friday? What was late Friday? That's weird. A lot of activity. Didn't lead to much result. Maybe there was some news or something there, but it didn't do much as a result, and it's been quiet again since. But yeah, if we are trending up, which generally, if there's a trend here, it's up. You already know what I'm going to look at, especially there's not a lot of weakness. So, of course, we could see demand coming in this area. The last visit was very off hours, quiet time of day. I wouldn't expect much volume to show up as far as buying. If we revisit that, then we could get more activity showing buying there. 618 overshoot or somewhere back in that fib area today. That's possible. But let's do euro dollar first. But that is rangy still. I'm still considering this a range, not just because sideways price, but we predicted a range on this day, and it's doing that still. And volume hasn't said otherwise, that it's accumulation or distribution, right? Not enough really activity. The result of all this activity was higher prices, so maybe we've got to say it's leaning bullish. We've also seen higher prices here, which didn't have much volume on it compared to the rest of the day. As far as supply. So maybe it's leaning bullish, but again, all that volume is not very high lately. And of course, the structure here is sideways on the euro dollar. So yeah, it's 53% bullish, 50-50. But if we could start moving around and get some activity. Now this is if we're working off the background. Scalps are scalps. We'll see what happens with that, especially this time of day, where that tends to be the move, looking for scalps, and then maybe this kind of stuff later today. But just getting bearings, right? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. 14 EMA on GU, on the 5 minute. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a little. I don't trust this volume. It's always high this time of day. It gets messy. First piece of information is up here is not much selling activity. Now that we're back to normal, but let's see it move around, see what it wants to do. Now we get into trustworthy stuff. That's why I don't start until this time. So let's see what it tells us. Yeah, nothing great yet. Yeah. Like as far as maybe a scalp here, yeah. I don't trust it so early. A little too early. A little too close to this nonsense. Now, if there's a London hour trade, I would think about it, but that's not happened yet. So, still in this range on euro dollar. To conclude, again, I'm calling it a range, not just because price has gone sideways, but volume says so and predicted it back here. And nothing's changed since, and it's all been low volume, like the market took a little break. So, how do I deal with a range? I'm looking to buy low, sell high, and avoid the middle, where you get choppy, stuck crap. Now, when volume picks up, sooner or later, it'll tell us, where am I over there? It'll tell us something. Or a breakout on low volume or something. But if we're in a range and we have low volume, generally, as we've seen all through it. You can't really call it accumulation or distribution, right? And it's just a range. Again, it's supply and demand are balanced, and it kind of just gets stuck in the middle, and then it got quiet. It is what it is. I know you want something more exciting, but until we see high volume, we don't really have facts about pre-positioning, right? It's just the way it is. But nothing wrong with the range trade, which has set up throughout this. If you're looking to buy low and sell high, a lot of those opportunities did come. So we'll see. Even maybe that, but that's the middle of the range, so not even. Okay. I'm going to avoid the middle. Unless it's a scalp. Good morning. 1 hour GU. Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that first hour with London Open. Now we can start trusting things. Good morning, good morning. So to summarize, we have this low volume in the last couple of weeks and range. So it's truly a range, it's not distribution or accumulation. I'll look to buy low, sell high. I can also scalp in either direction. And then finally, when high volume does show up, sooner or later, we'll see what that tells us. And that'll set up a clearer background and maybe a direction, right? So that's $1. Here, it's similar where, again, the market just got kind of quiet last couple of weeks. But we do have an uptrend structure sort of here. Again, a big old range off of this day. Same price area. So I think it's too much to assume things right now. Just the kind of day it is. On another day, I'd be saying this would be the perfect trade today or whatever, right? We need to see what they're up to. They took a little break late last week with the holiday. You see the lack of activity and generally really slow. So as soon as they start kicking it up, we see the activity, then we'll know what the heck's going on. You can't assume. There's nothing there to work off of as far as high volume, pre-positioning, phases, right? It's just not there. So that's the dollar pairs. Maybe the yens are a bit better, maybe not. Okay. Got some moves. Well, that's a little better. And activity did pick up a bit, right? Yeah, the yens might be a little better. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Keep an eye on the London hour trade, right? Nothing yet. Okay. So the yens maybe do have a bit more activity yesterday. Not much. So yeah, that's the situation overall. But working off of what we do have on the yens, which might be a bit better. Not really. Not really any better. Man, the market was just like, all right, let's just everybody relax. Everybody take a break. Low volume days, choppy. High volume in the background. Maybe leaning bullish off of this sort of activity. It's not like we saw proper strength really before this move, where they could have been buying earlier. It's all a bit, all over the place. After, some of you know, but if you're new, after you follow the big money, who are trying to align with, trade with, smart money, whatever you want to call it, when you follow them long enough, you start to know really what they're up to and what they tend to like to do and everything. And it's just very clear as day that they sort of took a break and didn't position really properly over the last, period here that we're looking at. recent background. So when they figure it out, then we'll know, right? Unless you want to place your bets. No thanks. I'd rather work off of facts as soon as I see them. It's kind of all over the place. This is just not their usual behavior, right? So if you're coming in today going, I'm not sure what the background is. The volume hasn't been very high. I don't know what smart money's up to. I can't figure it out. Okay, because you got it right. There's nothing to figure out until they get back to their usual stuff. London hour trade on your dollar. No, it's a pound driven situation. It kind of works off of the first hour activity spikes, increase, and then sort of the result or the outcome of that, if you can get it in balance. If you're looking at, so it's a pound driven situation. That's why it could be the pound dollar, pound yen, pound anything. Euro dollar more correlates with U.S. markets, and you could look for that around U.S. Open. It might be like a 9 or 10 a.m. thing. I didn't spend that much time on that one. New York time. So that would be later. It tends to correlate with U.S. markets. And when that, in my back testing, seemed to be very obvious to look for it on that pair. Or maybe U.S. dollar driven, but, the pound is a particular thing at that time of day. Seems to be the best. All right. So as far as background, right, I'm just taking the facts and I'm saying smart money is not doing their usual stuff. Clear as day if you are used to reading high volume in the background and knowing what phase you're in, Wyckoff phase or, accumulation distribution or high volume in the background or typical smart money activity when you're seeing what they're doing and not doing, right? The highs and lows are just not there and they took a break. I know I keep saying it, but that's just what it is today. Every day is different. There's nothing else to say but that. Typically, I have something that I'd be looking for as the best trade of the day, which typically sets up around U.S. Open. So that doesn't exist right now today, so far. So on that note, knowing that there isn't much background to work off of, let's just get in here, watch the 5 minutes, see what they're up to as they figure it out. And as time goes by a little bit and we can see some moves now that we're past the open activity, maybe things will become predictable. We'll see some good stuff. But it's kind of about watching them figure out what they're doing today and this week. It might not happen, as far as like high volume until U.S. session and news today, unfortunately. I wish you would just get it out of the way and get some high activity, right? So we can have like a high volume background. But yeah, it could happen on this stuff. But it's already kind of, the first week of the month isn't the greatest, especially as you get towards Friday. And then to have a background like that also now, right? It's all kind of just take it as it comes. I usually draw lines and predictions and ideal places to look for a trade. I mean, even the euro dollar range is big and sloppy at this point, right? As far as buying low, selling high. I mean, the bottom of the range really is down there. It's all kind of shit. As far as, any sort of textbook looking situation, it's just not there. But take it as it comes. Maybe some scalps. Watch them, see them figure it out. That's my plan. Why do you ask that? My views? The funding prop? I don't really have any view. What specifically makes you ask that? So we'll take it as it comes. Let's see. London hour trade. Okay. That might set up to the downside. Do I want to take that? Well, the way I've been filtering those trades, the London hour trade that may set up here is, if it works with the background and I have some additional confirmation. So, or do I care about background? No, additional confirmation. Background to some extent. I'm not going to sell into an area of large demand, things like that, but we don't have that today. But if this breaks to the downside, what else do I have besides the London hour to actually confirm to get in that trade? Nothing else. Maybe the fact that it's at a 618 and low volume would mean it's likely going to support. And we saw this last week, I think. We took that trade. Do I want to draw a fib there? Yeah, I do. Okay, because it is trending. I don't like drawing fibs in ranges. But no. Small time frame, we're not in range here, structurally. So yeah, this looks very familiar actually, right? We did this last week, remember? What was it? Wednesday? Wednesday last week we did this. Exactly the same freaking thing we're looking at. Take it, acid comes sci-fi. What? What? Acid. I feel like I'm on acid trying to understand what you're saying. GU looks more, yeah. Wixie, yeah, right? Last week we did this. Okay, the London hour low, right? It's here. London hour low, right? Let's make sure I got my level right, yeah. So normally, I have a video explaining this setup if you don't know. A break below the first hour London high to low. Break below, low volume, likely to be a real breakout. We took this last week, I think it was Wednesday. High volume, failed breakout, back into range quickly, within a couple of candles, is a long entry. And even that, if we get high volume here and rejection, that's, 618 overshoot plus the London hour trade, yeah. Doing exactly the same thing as last week. That had a good risk reward on it too. It was a nice one. Well, let's see. This candle closes in a couple of minutes. Technically, if it closes below this level, the lower the better on volume. Nice, solid close below, not popping up. That's an entry based on the London hour trade. Then you're running right into 618, which could be a test for buyers there. 618 overshoot. As far as just basic analysis, so it's a little risky to sell into that, and you might want to wait to see a slightly lower. But let's see if this confirms. Well, we might get it right now. Lower than 618. Okay. Which do we want to sell against if we take this? The US dollar or the yen? Probably doesn't matter. Chop sideways, whatever. Whichever one looks better. Is everything moving down? Okay. We have strong dollar, strong yen on top of this situation. Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss it. Let's see. I could work in like a half position maybe on the close here and on whatever looks better. Maybe the GU. I don't want to chase this. Let's see. We're about to close. 1 minute. Any volume as far as demand? Fake break action? No. And no. Oh, this one's really good. All right, that's a possibility there. The lower volume is on the GU as far as you see the test off the support, which brought no demand at all. And then that solid closed down. This is the 1 minute. So it's technically confirmed an entry. Let's see how much I might want to put on here. As I say, if it's moving up right now, I'll do nothing. Let's see. Let's see. But as far as the London hour trade isolated, that is a short entry. Yeah, I remember what it did last week too. It did this, right? It chopped around for a couple of candles, and then I got in. Kind of a break test. Yeah. Yeah, they're both looking good. Maybe there's even less demand on the pound dollar than the pound yen, but they're both, relatively low volume and technically an entry there. So let's see if I really want to do that. Does this support act as resistance now is the question on a break test. Break test continuation. Just like last week, right? It overshot, but then it ended up setting up. Let's see. Oh my God. It's deja vu all over again. Well, look at that pop. It's got some volume on it. Let's see if it, as a result, jumps down off of confirming some weakness on that. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. You left that part out. Speaking of planning for the worst, how's Bitcoin going? Oh. Okay, we didn't miss anything by not jumping in. Let's see what it does. Maybe we get weakness, Lack of demand is already shown. Maybe this high volume result comes down quickly. Okay. Patience pays. It's still, because of that low volume, I swear I said this last week, it's still very likely to break to the downside. Deja vu. Because of that really low volume, it's still likely to break to the downside. But it was moving up, no rush. What else is happening? Not much yet. Okay. What's the name of the volume indicator by TradingView? I will show you. Colored volume bars, or C vol B. It's C underscore vol, as in volume, VOL, underscore B. C vol B. And, which stands for colored volume bars, I assume. But I changed the settings. I actually flipped the colors around. Having said that, I don't really need volume colors. I mess with these settings. But like I was saying, somebody sent me a volume. Somebody who learned all my stuff. He's like, I bought all your courses. I'm a fan. I made a volume indicator, and I think he included a 14 EMA test and stuff, which just gives you different colors to tell you stuff you can see on the chart. But why not? We'll slap it on the chart and see at some point today. But you know what I say in the end. And I'm sure he knows this too, the guy that made it, because he has my course. You don't need a volume indicator. You just need volume. There's no magical volume indicator. Just need the raw data. Sure. Seems like fake breakup price is reversing, but volume very low. Confusion here. It's likely to break to the downside. Not confusion, because there is real lack of demand. The thing that's going to be confusing is if this does not turn into weakness, because we know demand isn't there. But if this pops up on high volume, high relative, not really high, and then just starts floating on up, then we have, okay, you got demand, but also no demand. Then it becomes weird. It makes sense for this to now soon come down as a result. So you have, the traders to see what's going on and say, okay, this is likely to break to the downside, and this is now weakness selling into this move. That would make sense. We'll see. You're short on the pound already? Yeah, it's likely to break to the downside. Whichever one looks stronger, I want to sell against, and right now that's the yen. So that would be giving me the pound yen. And I might go for that here. I like this reaction. That's the reaction, at least I want to see if we get some volume, right? It's not demand, it's actually supply by definition. If I go with pound yen, let's see, stop loss and risk here. I mean, nothing crazy. It is the pound yen, so maybe I'll end up with a 30 pip stop. All right, so I'm going to, put something on the pound yen short there. So I did that. I could always add or leave it. I didn't go max risk or anything. Ooh, I entered the pound dollar by accident. Oh my God. Entered the pound dollar by accident. All right. Now. Shit. All right, I'm working things out here. I went on the pound dollar by accident, but it went right into profit. So I'm just gonna deal with it. It could be worse. Okay, also the pound yen as well. Okay. I don't want to over risk. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Okay. Now I'm spread out pretty evenly between the two. Okay. But looking at the yen moving up, I mean, it's just making a decision with whatever you got. It looks like the yen was a little more bullish than the US dollar. Maybe they'll end up being the same going forward here. So selling against the yen. But they're likely to be very similar here. But initially I was thinking the pound dollar looked better, and I had that window open. So then when I entered the short, I got Got into the wrong trade. I'm good now. Okay, I'm good. I got some on both. Luckily, it jumped right into profit. Then I'd be like, what do I do? I just closed half and then I opened some on the pound yen like I meant to. All right, all good. Let's see. Oh, we're getting some activity, so hopefully it is not demand coming in. Oh, that's looking good. It's last week all over again. What happened to my line? There it is. We got that. Okay. Yeah, see, the pound yen was the way to go. Look at that. You see? Simply by looking at the yen index and the dollar index, you see the bullishness, the higher highs, higher lows, the lack of that red candle in here where that was coming down a bit. So seeing the strong yen was, the thing that makes me say, okay, out of these two, which one do I take? See? But I would watch out for this high volume. Yes. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Wixie, you are correct. We should be watching. Now, if I'm in a trade like this and I see potentially demand coming in because the volume increased, it's not terrible. It closed at the low, but it's the result. If we close lower on decreased volume, it's not that serious. If we close up as a result, you might want to, manage the trade in some way or not, depending. I don't like the pound dollar so much. I could just close that. I'm not even supposed to be in it. Hmm. Yeah, that's a bit more activity than we want to see on the down move. For it not to be here is still, right, that low volume is still a factor that is likely to break down. But if it's trying and it's seeing some strength, it takes away some probability. This one's looking okay, but again, you see a relative increase in volume that may or may not stop it. If it stops it, it's a bit of a warning. Well, if I see any real trouble, the first thing I'll do is close the pound dollar because I made that by accident. So let's see. I want this dollar index to go up. Not doing it. See the 5-minute close in under 2 minutes as a result of this slight increase in volume. Hopefully it closes down and it's not technically a sign of strength. What did I mark here? Okay, that's the low of the day so far. Getting a little luck that the yen is strong, so that's what's keeping the pound yen down here. But the pound itself looks a bit flat. I'm not supposed to be in the pound dollar. If current candle on pound yen closed bullish, then I will sharply manage my risk. Yeah, that makes sense to take that information. Oh, that's nice. Take that information and, whatever that means to you. It could mean lowering risk or whatever. Yeah. Could mean stop at break even depending on your entry. Yeah. But that did actually close down. Seems still more likely to move down than not. Otherwise, I would just close things if it looked that bad. Again, that goes a long way. The fact that there was lack of demand there. Whatever happened here, still, like if there was really a plan by some intelligent money to be buying here, there wasn't. So whatever this was not really something that says a typical, oh, they're looking to buy and there they are, right? It's this delayed kind of thing. So that's why I keep going back to this and saying, still looks okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to cut half my risk on pound. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. No regrets. If that's the no regrets approach, you'll look back and you'll be fine with that decision. And there you go. I'm kind of giving it that chance, like you said. If it closes up, then I'll worry about it. Obviously, if we just start moving up, that won't bother. That I won't like that either. But we haven't had an actual bullish close. I'm trying to hold out to not do anything unless I see that. Come on. We want this up. We want this up. Okay. All right, so I'm up 10 pips on the pound yen. I did jump in a little late, so wherever you may have gotten in. There's 10 pips. This guy, come on. I'm up 5 pips on the pound dollar. There we go. Come on. Give me 80. Pound yen, give me 80. That's 20 pips. All right, I can start nipping off some profit on the pound yen short here. Let's see. How's it looking? Go, 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 go. Yeah. We'll start closing a little bit of that pound yen. I closed a third of my pound yen short. I'm putting stop at break even, so I have 2/3 of the position still on. Stop at break even on the pound yen. Now, the stupid pound dollar I'm not supposed to be in the first place because I entered by accident, in case you missed that. Nice error. I'm not even supposed to be in this trade. So I'm going to move my stop to break even sooner than I ever would on the pound dollar short. Because again, I'm not supposed to be in it. And I'm up like 4 pips, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was a mistake. I'm not going to let it turn into a loss. I hit the wrong pair. So whatever. But pound yen, I got still the majority of the trade and stop at break even. Let's go. That was the one we were supposed to take. There you go. There it is. So you notice, right? The setup was very similar, but we have quite a difference in outcome. But I knew to go with this one. The only extra information I got was the bullish nature of the yen right now. To sell against that is better than selling against this chop lower low, lower high thing, right? That was one more piece of information to go off of. If the yen's taken off, then good. Even if the pound stalls, this thing will go down anyway. Right? Money, 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 money. Money. Can I go to bed now? I'm out of the GU. I don't need that shit in my life. So pound yen, bye bye. Wixie, thank you for reminding me of the London hour trade. I seriously, man, I may have missed it. Thank you. I'm so routine oriented, and that's kind of new to the routine that I just forgot about it. So also thanks, Wixie. There you go. You guys know what's going on. We could be a team. There you go. I mean, you guys have to be like starting to get used to this stuff already, right? Still, we don't. I don't see a lot of people posting charts like marked up, the way that we're doing this here. I know Troy is post happy. He's doing well, right? But as far as analysis, where's Troy today? Troy is FX trader in the Discord. But hey, whatever you guys want to do with the Discord, it's yours. I don't do much in there. GU, I'm out of that. Oh, okay. I'm out of that. Well, if you're new here, this is how we do it. All right. So let's get a like. Can I be a YouTuber for a second? I'm a failed YouTuber. I'm a good trader. Failed YouTuber. Can we get a like for, what is it? 60, that's 40, 50, 45 pips. Can we get a like for 45 pips in the first hour? There we go. $45 pips in the first hour. If that doesn't work for you, I don't know. Go watch ICT videos and fall asleep. Yeah, I said it. I think Troy is off for the week. Oh, okay. Philip, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, that was easy. What else? We made the money, now what? Hate I don't want to use the word hate. And there's certain people you don't want to talk crap about because you really don't know what they're capable of when you're dealing with that level. But yeah, pretty much. So what do we got? Anything else to do today? Oh yeah, we want to look at the volume indicator. I mean, it's cool, and I get it, and here I am with colors all over my chart that I ignore. But we don't need volume to tell us what the hell's going on. We don't need colors and things. But who knows, right? It's good at a glance. If this guy's volume indicator. I told him come join the live session, so if you're here, thanks for the indicator. He actually did the no demand, no supply test. I actually have some questions for him if hopefully he shows up today. 50 pips and running. There you go. But he made the no demand, no supply or test on the 14 EMA show up as a no supply, no demand, I think, using the 14 EMA. Like he used this stuff plus volume to color code. Do we need it? No. It's cool. Maybe. We'll see. I'll take a look at it. Should we do that now? Because we're just letting the trade run right here. Oh my God. Where are we going with this thing, huh? We could have gotten strength there. I didn't close it. But I like to wait for the reaction to high volume. It's not that high, but it's high. Where is this thing going? I didn't plan for all this yet. Plan for the best. No, we didn't do that. Hope for the best. All right. We got the best. Yeah, it's probably going to 618. But we're deep into the fib here. We're deep in. That's a lot of volume. Let's see. All right, maybe I'll close another third here. I mean, come on now. Let's go. Bank it. Pick off a little profit right there. Okay. I did that. Whatever that is. Lots of pips. So I have a third of my original position on pound yen. Or do I have less than that? I have less than that. Okay. I closed most of it. Stop at break even. That's pretty much it. We'll see if this comes in as strength or if it gets to 618, overshoot maybe. Typically, I mean, okay, maybe it can get here. But yeah, I mean, by this point, it's going to have some sort of bounce. Even if it continues, it's likely to have some bounce right here. If not earlier, off of strength now. I could lock in some pips too. Whatever, I closed most of it. Okay, stop at break even. When will you upload this one? I need to work, but looking forward to watch this one back. As soon as I'm done, within a couple of minutes, you can watch it. As soon as it's over. Who knows when that is? Streaming tomorrow, I am planning on it, as I say. So that means 96% chance. Few lot remaining. Yeah, that's the thing to do, right? And If this comes in as strength, you could, depending on what you have left, you could close a little more. You could not. You could lock in some pips. Right? Just working off of what we see, right? Mr. Ohm, have a good one. See you soon. I usually call people Mr. whatever, so you're Mr. Ohm. All right. Take these broken wings, Mr. What does a 1 minute look like down there? In the depths of the fib retracement. Not bad. If this was extremely likely to be a bottom, then you'd see high volume right there. So it's not extremely likely to be a bottom, but a bit more likely since we saw that. So I'll just hold this last little piece for now, stop at break even. What else? One second. Okay. Easy money. Yeah, that is true, Wixie. And for me, it took me long enough to figure out I could do that, because what I hated was so I'm either looking for scalps, right, or the main setup of the day, which tends to be U.S. session now, the way the market is now. So it kind of leaves me with, not much early a lot of times. So now it's totally changed. Some days, maybe half the time, right? We're getting that. Even if it's like 2 days a week, it's still yeah. Having something early like that is nice. Little gold nugget there. Thanks. Yeah. Took me a long time to figure out. Again, because I've said that a million times. London Open used to be different back in the day. It used to be very different, the behavior. And then now I've been looking at this like, what do I do with this? I gotta wait. And then finally I'm like, wait a second. This keeps happening. Yeah. It's funny how similar it was to last week, including, do we get the fake breakout? But it looks so good, it's still likely to go. The break test overshot. It's so similar. I even want to go back and look. Was it pound yen we took? Probably. Or was it pound dollar? What was it? Was it Tuesday last week? Wednesday? I don't know. I don't think I was here Tuesday. Friday? Where am I? Whatever. I'm really that interested I could go watch the stream. Still going? All right. Maybe. What else might I want to do today? I don't have to do anything. This is not a good scalp because of the strength. This actually might move up off of strength and low volume test. Should we look at the new indicator? Let's see. I saved it. Am I gonna lose all my stuff? I could put it on a different broker. Okay, let me save. Doesn't even matter, but okay. Let's see. It's running into a bit of volume again down here. I could move my stop right above there. Stop at 70? Yeah. All right, I'm moving my stop down. Lock in. $165.71. So whatever that is for you, 30-something pips. Locked in. 165.71. Because now we got a little strength again confirmed. This time it is off a low, an attempt to break a support. So that's likely to give a bounce here. Even if it continues, it's likely to get a bounce. Unless sellers just run them over. So the stop is a bit out of the way, but not too much. Wants to chop around. We'll stay in it. But that's what I'm doing. My stop loss is here now. Locked in 30-something pips, whatever it is. Do you like to go further down, says Wixie. Yeah, but that. Right? Say double bottom with strength that may confirm. Either way, there's probably a bounce in the near future, and then it may or may not continue after that. But we might get a bounce right now, yeah. There it is. There it is. Okay, so I'm out of... I said, am I going to bounce right now? And it popped up. Thanks, Marky. You're behaving. So I'm out of the pound yen. I have no trade on anymore now. There's the bounce. So we knew it when this candle closed, or bar, depending what you're using. When this closed, I said, oh, buyers, better watch it. Right, this starts moving up. Okay, better lock in some pips. So the chart is the best way to manage your trade. Just listen to it. And that also says all through here, you're good. Right? You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Maybe some trouble? No trouble. Maybe some trouble? Yes, right? So at this point, it found some demand. It was really, really out of balance right before real lack of demand. Initially, right there is when we knew it. But they found some demand, so who knows at this point? They could reverse all the way back up, right? Who knows? So that's my take on it. If you did catch the trade, you see the way I managed it. At this point, I don't feel like it's worth letting it run back. Maybe hit your break even, or obviously a loss would be ridiculous at this point. Wouldn't let that happen. And we'll see the next move. Yep. About time to get out of it. Good one. Like I said, even if it continues down, it's likely to move up. But when you see that demand and you're up, whatever that was for you, 60 pips, 55 pips, and you see something like that, obviously it's time to close the majority. What was our stop loss? 25 pips. Who knows at this point? It would be silly if you let it run back and let all that profit go. So I think that's a good middle ground, good risk reward, good obeying the charts, whatever the charts say. I do. This was big, right? This was big. If you know, you know. Lack of demand, extreme. Very good. Money, 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 money. We need a celebration song. I'm going to get a copyright strike now for singing that. Let's see this volume indicator. Something to do. All right. Ignore the PBT. Relative volume VSA. So the dude made it. Dude learned my stuff. And he made a volume indicator. I changed the colors because I'm just getting used to it and I didn't code it. So I made all high volume black. Against the white background, it stands out. So you got that. You can see it anyway, right? Okay. Then we got blue is normal. Gray is low. I'm on Bitcoin. Red is no demand for sell, right? Red. Green is no supply. So theoretically, right, oversimplifying things, if we take a high volume point and define what it is, okay, this dipped down and rejected and closed higher, so that's strength, right? Okay. So is there a no supply showing up? So, well, there's that, actually. So the combination of high volume strength, green is for no supply because it would be a buy situation, lack of supply. So those two together, say buy, right? Just that isolated combination. Here's another no supply buy entry, right? But yeah, it's all stuff you could see anyway. You don't need colors. And you can't trade off of these colors and think that it's just going to work. But at a glance, maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. But it's cool that he made that. But I would want to ask him some questions, like how exactly does he define the no supply, no demand? How did he use the 14 EMA exactly? Because he did use it somehow. Let's see if it would have gotten us short on the pound yen, right? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, we didn't have weakness. We didn't need that in this particular case. Where am I? Oh, London low. Where did we take the trade again? Okay. It's supposed to be red. Oh, it's not red. On the 5-minute, they're actually down candles showing lack of demand. They're actually down bars showing lack of demand. Why is that? Because it's into a support. It's into new low ground where at this time of day in particular, if buyers were interested, they would show up there. And the low activity says they didn't show up there. So that's no demand if you need to call it something, right? Logical. And it's just low and it's gray. So you can see that it's low and you know that it's a demand area. So it doesn't need to be red, but that's kind of the point of the indicator, right? I don't know, whatever. Wixie, okay, enjoy. I mean, I guess it was worth trying. I appreciate the effort. Well, maybe he'll pop in here at some point and we can discuss it. All right, looks like that was a good exit. The art of the exit. So what else? Again, it's a little different today because the background is very unclear. We've had low volume for a couple of weeks. Long story short, if you know how to read a chart and read a background, read a VSA or a Wyckoff or tracking smart money, you'll see that they really have not pre-positioned in any large amounts for any particular move, any direction. They're not in any. We want to see where high volume comes in, hopefully today, and that'll help set our background. Where is smart money positioned from, in what direction. So the fact that volume's been so low for a while, U.S. holiday last week and all that. Again, these high volume points in our background, right? We just see this real lack of activity. So again, if anyone is saying, oh, smart money's doing this, they're doing that, it would not be based on facts. They're not. There's no consensus. There's no big money positioned. And it all goes back to when we finally did a high volume, right? Selling and buying in large amounts, and we talked about that on the day of, that it's likely to range. And nothing happened since on high volume. So the background is really neutral. Factual information. The big money is not positioned. They took a little breather, whatever it is. And once we get high volume, that really shows up on a 1-hour chart as high volume. Then we'll consider that again as our background, what it means, and go from there. So not much there right now as far as that. It's just factual. But the London hour trade, very nice, very nice. Nothing wrong with looking for scalps if things are moving well. I mean, from a 1-hour point of view, you look at this euro dollar, right? It's not something I want to get into. This little range. This, okay, caught down move on pound. Now we see some strength, maybe popping up. Wait for the next move, the next imbalance, nothing to do there. $618 overshoot here. Bit of strength, bit of weakness. They're pretty similar in volume. Things are kind of slow. I don't see anything I want to get in right now. Yeah, it looks like the Australian dollar's moving okay, and then you see this amount of volume on weakness and this showing strength, and they're very similar and they're close together, and you're right in the middle, sort of an equilibrium. And this is the middle of the range that we've been in for hours anyway. So nothing great. Nothing I'm going to do right now. Again, the London hour trade, freaking amazing. We caught the move of the session so far. I do have a video explaining the London hour trade, if you don't know it. Working that in with the rest of the analysis, whatever else we can do to back up, confirm or cancel out that entry. I've been adding that, mixing it together. And since then, it's been no losses. I don't know. Close to perfect. Perfect. All right, so I'm here. Like I said, luckily we even got something that good that early in this environment. So I'm not going to force anything, obviously, now. I don't force. I use the force. We'll see. Really, I'm just waiting for the next obvious piece of information that's going to have a high probability, which basically means an imbalance, right? Supply and demand out of balance. And some sort of usual activity and pattern. So I'll hang out for a bit, see what we get.
Was nacho cheese even a flavor before Doritos?
Coffee time. That sounds good, Norman. Honestly, it may not be that exciting the rest of the day, the rest of the session. I mean, boo-hoo. We got a nice fat win early. But, yeah. With the background situation, the way things are looking now, I think it's time to be patient. There may not be a trade excitement going on here in the very near future. If, things could have happened that could have just continued good stuff, but they don't seem to be happening. For example, if the pound yen hit the 618 especially, but if we saw high volume strength, not sort of medium volume, medium volume strength. I would consider buying if it was a bit lower, and it could get down there and see that, because that's just a common buy area right there. 618 overshoot. And we were close to it, but we didn't quite reach it. So I would have considered the buy there, and maybe after this little retracement, maybe we do end up there. But we're kind of just getting back into the weeds here, back into this range, right? Caught the move, it's over, and we're actually not continuing down so well on a break test. No. Maybe 14 EMA. We could have had a situation where we saw particularly low volume here, and then maybe even weakness on this retracement, but that's not happening, right? Market is just not. That's just the fact that we got that trade was just the fact that I've been doing this so long, and it was a couple of factors that a lot of people don't even know. But generally, it's not a great environment right now. Just being realistic. Gotta know when to hold, know when to fold. Something. How's it go? If you happen to see black screen, it is temporary, and the chart will come back. I was gonna play something. What was it? I thought I just put it in this list, and it's not here. Hmm. Sorry, I'm just browsing around now. Okay. Like I said, it's a wait and see situation. I think right now on the charts, it was nice to catch something early, and volume has been quite low in the background, and there's nothing great brewing at the moment as far as any great imbalance and imminent move. Hang out for a bit, see what develops. I was actually going to play something, but I don't have it. I thought it was in my favorites. Oh well. Here's something. I know, black screen. I know. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry.
Further understanding volume. Volume is not difficult to understand once the basic principles of supply and demand are understood. This requires you to relate the volume with price action.
That's right. I can't hear the sound.
Volume is the
Oh, my
powerhouse
gosh.
of the stock market. Start to understand volume and you will start to trade on facts, not on news. Your trading will become exciting as you start to realize that you can read the market, a very precious skill that only a few people share. To say that the market will go up when there is more buying,
Oh God, the
demand,
computer voice is
than
annoying though,
selling,
isn't it?
and go down when there is more selling, supply, than buying may seem like an obvious statement. However, to understand this statement you need to look at the principles involved. To understand what the volume is saying to you, you have to ask yourself again, what has the price done on this volume? The price spread is the difference between the highest and lowest trading points reached during the time frame you are looking at, which may be weekly, daily, hourly, or whatever other time frame you choose. Volume shows the activity of trading during a specific period. If the volume is taken in isolation it means very little. Volume should be looked at in relative terms. Therefore, if you compare today's volume with volume during the previous 30 days, or bars, it is easy to see if today's volume is high, low, or average compared to the volume seen in the past. If you stand 30 people in a line, it is easy for you to see who the tall
Yeah, I see the chat. Fred, yes. That was made by somebody who learned my material and made a volume indicator based on trying to work off of some things that I use, like the 14 EMA testing there and stuff. I actually have some questions. He just emailed it to me. So I was hoping he would maybe join the stream because I have some questions about how he made it and stuff. And I'll ask him about sharing it. If I can just put a link in the Discord if he wants to just share it for free, which he probably does, but I'll check with him. So yeah, it's not going to be in TradingView. He just made it. But I'll ask him if it's cool to share it in the Discord. Everybody join the Discord, link in the description. Like button for 50 pip trade. Okay. Subscribe, hit the bell. Tell your mama. But I'll see if he talking about what's up. Yeah, he was asking about the volume indicator that I was showing that somebody made based on how I use it, which again is just color coding. It's nothing else special besides that. So yeah, I'll ask him if I can post a link in the Discord if he wants to just give it out. But again, disclaimer, you're not trading off the volume indicator and the colors. It just maybe help you highlight things and get a view of the charts. The same way I have these colors just to kind of highlight. Down here would be buying if it's high volume, so it's green. Right, high volume it's up, moves is selling. I don't really need it, all that stuff. Name? Oh, he named it. What was it? Relative volume. He called it relative volume. Here it is again. I'll show it. Ignore the rest of that stuff. This is just a different template that I threw it on. So I changed the colors. There's a little more detail than I took out some detail because it's ultra high and then there's very high. But I made them both black for the moment. I could make this orange. Orange is very high. Black is ultra high. All right, there you go. See, why isn't that black? It's not going to affect my trading either way, right? Ugh. Honestly, I totally appreciate the effort. The guy's like, I bought all your courses. I'm a big fan, and that is awesome, and that means he's making money, and that's great. And yeah, I play around with indicators. but in the end, I never make a decision based on an indicator. The only benefit is maybe at a glance you can absorb all the information a little quicker and sort of summarize it in your mind and see it a little better. If certain things are highlighted, but not really. Whatever. As I always say with these things. If we had price, volume, nothing else, pretty much trade the same. Wouldn't be much different, would it? So I'll see if he is okay with me sharing it in the Discord. Now, you know what we'll do? We'll do subscription. It's $100 a week. $1,000 a week. For the ultimate golden make money while you sleep colored volume indicator. Who's in? So, anything brewing? Not really. Stuck in the middle of the range here. Again, our background is low volume. We need some activity. Need smart money to get back in the game a little bit. They took a little break. So says volume the last week or two, if you look back. We had a nice week last week, but looking back, it's been a bit quiet as far as, big money pre-positioning. Not so much there. Because normally we would have a prediction going forward off of that for today, so that's not there. London hour trade, amazing. Scalps, the other option. A lot of you know my scalp method. I don't want to push my luck shorting this pound yen, but it might come down off of this. Let's see. If it starts to pull away soon, it's likely going to try to get to the 618. We kind of knew that after a pullback, it's likely to get there. Didn't want to sit through the pullback and have our profit dwindle. But yeah, break test, 14 EMA. It's becoming more likely if we can pull away here. Now, there was some demand showed up. Was we pound dollar was worse, maybe? It's not a lot. That's a possibility here. Is the yen still strong? That was part of it, right? We saw the pound yen drop and the pound dollar not, and we kind of knew to expect that because we have this strong yen. If that's going to continue to be the case, then that'll be the move. Is it the most sort of predictable thing at the moment? Yeah, euro dollar stuck in the range. This guy may not do it. It's that weak. It's the strong yen pushing all the yens down. So that's something short term. It looks like we could actually predict these yen pairs moving down in the next, whatever it is, 20, 30 minutes. Likely. Especially the pound yen. And especially if this closes at or near the low. And this what do you call it? Evening star sort of reaction here. Textbook. If we could start to pull away and close down, it's likely going for another leg. Or at least try to break the low. Is that computer voice annoying? It is, right? Volume is the footprint of the smart money. For a trader to understand volume
are, compared to the others. This is a skill of human observation, so you will have no problems identifying whether the volume is relatively high, low or average. Compare this volume information with the price spread and you will then know how bullish or bearish the professional wholesalers really are. The more practice you have, by taking this professional approach, the better you will become. To make it easier for you to understand volume, compare it to the accelerator of your automobile. Think about the results you would expect from pressing the accelerator when approaching resistance, such as a hill. Imagine you are an engineer monitoring a car's performance by remote control. Your instruments only allow you to see the power applied to the accelerator pedal, volume, and a second engineer is looking at the car's actual motion, price movement. The second engineer informs you that the car is moving forward uphill. However, this uphill movement is not in keeping with your observation of power to the accelerator pedal, which you observe is very low. You would naturally be somewhat skeptical, as you know a car cannot go uphill without sufficient power being applied. You may conclude that this movement uphill could not possibly be a genuine lasting movement, and that it is probably caused by some reason other than power application. You may even disbelieve what your instruments are telling you, as it is obvious that cars cannot travel uphill unless power is applied to the accelerator pedal. Now you are thinking more like a professional trader. Many traders are mystified if the same thing happens in the stock market. Remember, any market, just like an automobile, has momentum that will cause movement even when the power has been turned off. This example explains why markets can momentarily rise on a low volume up move. However, all moves with differing types of volume activity can be explained using the accelerator pedal analogy. Footnotes: when observing volume information, keep in mind that this represents the amount of professional activity and little else.
I've been doing this stuff over a decade, well over a decade, and I still like listening to it. I'm like, maybe I'll just put it on while I'm driving. I put the whole thing. For me, I like the computer voice because it's like less distracting than a person. You really focus on the information. It's more like reading or something. So I don't mind the computer voice. I know some people don't like it. I don't know. But yeah, in the Discord, in the education section, go there, listen to that. Again, like I say, I don't trade exactly the way Master of the Markets teaches, Tom Williams, but certainly similar, and taking that information, taking the Wyckoff stuff, taking my basic analysis, technical analysis, nothing complicated, and kind of doing my own thing with it. But the basic ideas are there. The fact that, how does smart money work? Who are they? How does it work? And they don't, conspire in the morning, 6 a.m. meeting. What are we going to do today in the markets? All right, deal. It's more the fact that they don't communicate at all. It's more that they trade similarly and in the best way possible. And so you'll end up with a consensus among them. So whenever there's a consensus among them and they're doing similar things at the same time, same thing at the same time, the volume's going to be high. If you can interpret what that volume means, what they're doing, which is typically buying on down moves, selling on up moves, buying on bad news after the last dumb seller got in, things like that. Then you see there could be a consensus among them, right? We just try to jump on that train when we see it. So I'm not in this trade, if you're wondering. It is likely to move down. There's a bit of volume on this one over the others. We're all kind of in low territory, but it is higher than the previous 3 on a down move. So you would want that to close down as a result. Otherwise, you could have a bit of buying here confirmed. Effort result, buying. And it could get a little hairy if you're short. But if you are short and you have a down move that does have high volume, like this one, right, that was higher than the previous 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're looking at this stuff in real time saying, okay, if the 5-minute bounces as a reaction, that's a warning for the trade. So it didn't, and then it did here, right? And that's when I closed a little more of the short. So there's a perfect example of if you're moving down and you see a bit of volume, I don't freak out unless we can't move down as a result. This one closed slightly lower, sort of a neutral answer, right? Mixed situation. Is that something to do today? We'll talk about these things a little bit. Get some education in here. Roger. Morning. Do you look for yen setups in Asia session? In Asia session. No, I don't anymore. I completely stopped trading that time of day. No. How's it been looking? I've become very efficient. You know, I'm doing my London Open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the most part. And besides that, I'm not looking. How has Asia Open been? Have you been trading it? Have you been seeing setups? I mean, it still looks like it's doing the usual behavior where at the open, well, this is just some terrible stuff. Some of it is terrible. But you do get that like a bit of activity very often. Oh gosh, these are bad. Let's see. Not looking too good. You get that bit of activity or like in that beginning, and then you sit there doing nothing until London Open. And that can almost trick you into thinking, oh, look at this market. It's made a new high over the previous day. Break test continuation pattern. No, because by this point in the day, it's going to just go flat, most likely. And you're not going to really get moves. It tends to come and go, the mood of Asia. Sometimes it is a little more active than other times. It's looking pretty bad, though. Right now, right? It's got that, ooh, we're moving. No, we're not. Wait till London, right? Seems to be doing that thing. Most days. You have been, okay. Euro yen just scalping. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're looking for little moves, little scalp. It's tricky, yeah. You're definitely not going to be working off of, obviously 5-minute high volume, and then a trend begins. There's an imbalance, and it's a different situation, yeah. I mean, if I had a trade Asia session, I'd probably expect that it's going to start. I wouldn't really do this. By this time of day, you get into this flat stuff. You almost have to trade that, which sucks. Let's see. Like once you see this happening, yeah, it's over. What does that mean? Sell into the up move? Nah. Hey, if you're scalping that time of day and doing well, all right. You said EJ? Yeah, I'm on EJ. Ugh. No thanks. Do you? For me, that's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just chilling at home with my kid. I'll pass. It's not worth it. But yeah, if you're making something of it. Yeah, actually, you typed what I was just saying. If anything, it's this fake, right? It's this fake, like, oh, we're gonna trend up. No, you're not. You're probably gonna float back to where you started, right? I mean, that's kind of crazy to trade that, but I don't know if it's got a success rate that's decent, sure. But at least you're aware of what you're dealing with. You're not like desperate for trades and oh, Asia's open. I'm gonna start trading. Yeah, you know what you're dealing with. So okay, yeah, maybe you can make it work. That's cool. The absolute worst that I hate, which is could be very tricky for someone who's not aware of that, is the London Open volume and saying, okay, this is a sign of strength or whatever. No, no, no. This is weakness, right? No. So untrustworthy. That's why I don't start until 45 minutes after that. I almost want to trade Asia over that. That's just nonsense. But the outcome is tradable, which was lack of demand. So yeah, this is kind of struggling. I'm not in this trade. I'm not in anything right now. Typically, if these scalps work, once you pull away from the 14 EMA, this is a nice pattern. This is decent lack of strength here. There was a bit. There was. So it's not great. That actually made me close part of the trade. Remember the short there? But typically, once you pull away from this test, you're going to get these wider, quicker moves. And if it stalls as far as a scalp, I don't really like that. It should be quick, fairly quick. You normally get a wide spread right in, after this reaction, right in there, wide spread. So it's kind of just stalling. This guy, yeah, really stalling, huh? It's like 30 minutes now. Is it a break test or not? For 30 minutes, it's not telling you. That means something, right? Again, I'm not in anything right now. Very much feels like wait and see. It'll come together. It'll clean up. Wixie, you want that New York hour trade, right? I know. That's the next thing to look at. In New York hour trade, can we look for trading gold and yours? Do you recommend? I haven't looked. Something to look at. Check it out. Maybe. Also, the time is questionable, but I think the way we do 1 hour into London, it's actually 10 a.m. I think might be the time to go with it. 10 a.m. New York time, which seems off because it's only 30 minutes after the U.S. Open. But if you look at the charts, using that 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York time range might be the way to go with that. Wixie, you can check that out. And maybe on gold, yeah. Gold I swing trade, so I don't really watch it day in, day out. I'm not that like intimate with it. But yeah, for today, if we look at the 10 a.m. New York time, which is up here, mark the high to low previously and see how that behaves. I did test it a few times. It looks right. It looks like that's the right time that it does do that behavior. But yeah, check it out. Okay, good. I know. I ramble and ramble once you ask a question. Wixie's like, I get it. I get it. All right, shut up. But yeah, see what you find. See what you find. Let me know. Like I say, at that point, I'm usually looking at charts in bed. And sometimes, especially if I have a good day already, I'll just not do anything. I might get another trade today. I might not. That's fine. I had one good one. I actually have stuff to do tomorrow, so yeah. Ugh, this sucks when I have to be up during the day, but it's not that early. So yeah, I probably won't be able to. Yeah, I really shouldn't. But see what you find on that today. Yeah, start testing that out. And when it comes to that stuff, I know it's like not that exciting, Wixie, but if you trade it on a demo, it's better than just watching it. You really get in there. Or with some extremely small amount of money or something, right? Like I was testing the London Open trade with small money, which was good that I did that. Because then you really get into, okay, I'm really in this trade, and you know, timing, time of day, was that right? The management, of course, the risk reward and stuff. You got to deal with that stuff if you're in it, even in a demo, you know. So yeah, try it out. Yeah, so this got a little wishy-washy. I did not go short. It's kind of stalling where it would have normally popped down, so who knows? Not worth betting money on, in my opinion. Let's see what happens here. Is the U.S. dollar index moving? Not so much. Okay. Bit of a pop-up on the euro. Okay, let's see what that is. Ugh, what a mess to the left. What's the name of that pattern? Shit. It's a shit pattern. But for today, new high ground. Whenever you get into new high ground or new low ground for the session, it's similar to the way we use the high and low of the London hour trade, right? You get into new high ground for the session, would be here for the day. That's going to be information finally, because we're choppy in here. I mean, look at it. Do you want to trade this? I don't. But if you pop up into new high ground, we'll get information as far as how much selling, right? Higher prices tell you about sellers. So again, it's similar to the London hour trade as far as even just understanding it. It could be fake break and high volume weakness. Okay, bear, right? It could break out on low volume, right? Just like we saw today. Okay, it's likely going to go. So that's a piece of information at least. We'll see if we can get just above that. Tell us about sellers. Meanwhile, if it's choppy in that area, I won't want to touch that. So it looks like the pound dollar reversed. Yeah, all that. This I don't trust too well. Okay. This is new high ground for the session here, coming in again. So there's an example of that. New high ground, what is it telling us? That would be telling us about sell activity, and it's moderate to low, right? That could have been much higher. So we see a bit of sell activity. If that was high volume, leading to a fake break, which it might be doing, but if that was high volume, it would be potentially a sell, or at least we look for that's the supply shown in high amounts, look for lack of demand. Imbalance move to the downside. It's not quite high enough to be confident about that, right? If it did not increase and stayed really low, like the candles previous, like the bars previous to that, and stayed really low, then it would be likely a real breakout to the upside. But it's obviously higher than the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Give or take. So it's not low. So this guy did pop up a bit higher. Let's see the 1 minute. Did that get sold into? Yes. There it is. Okay. Is that an up thrust or a... All right. Not a ton of volume, but we just saw on the 1 minute, right? That sell activity hit right there. It's creating a fake breakout, maybe. This 5 minute, but that's the 1 minute. Like I say, a lot of you know this. 1 minute is good for information. Okay, yes, selling did come in here. You knew by this point. But the 5 minute is really, that's information, but the 5 minute is confirmation. The 5 minute is what we'll work off of. And there's no high volume whatsoever showing up. It's just not enough. And that's going to close soon, so it's not going to be much volume on it. If it tries again and gets squashed and you do have the 5 minute high volume, right, then we know something's going on here with selling. But yeah, you see that's average. That's average. A bit of selling did hit there. 1 minute shows it, but that's just average. We don't see, some large money positioning short there by any means. Okay, well, nothing to do. I mean, it could try to break again and be on really low volume. Then it's likely a real break, right? Or on really high volume, and then it's likely a short. That's a bit too mushy, middle ground, right? And this did not go into new high for the day, so we don't have that information yet there. Similar situation there. I have $200 small live account. Cool, Wixie. So you're in that zone where it's not going to change your life, but you're using real money, so it does matter, and you treat it more seriously than like a demo. Yeah, that's good. Good for learning. Yeah. Any planning for holidays at the end of the year? I have in my mind like I want to do something, but I don't know. As far as my personal life, yeah. Trading, let's see. We'll probably stop. Maybe do 2 weeks into December, and then we're off for a few weeks. Oh, I get so bored. But when it comes to December, if you've been trading for years and years, you already know this. You're at progressing phase. Perfect. I see that. When it comes to December, you never know what you're going to get. I've seen some years where right into December, all of a sudden it just starts to slow down, and the whole month is really slow. And then you have the opposite where it could be very active right up to Christmas Eve, where it becomes, of course, quiet, predictably. But, the first couple of weeks could be completely normal. And everything in between. So you take December as it comes. You take it as it comes. We've already seen in the last week or two, again, just zoom out to your 1 hour, 4 hour chart. You'll see the volume is kind of flat, kind of low. So I'm hoping it'll pick up and get a couple more weeks. But hey, we got trades anyway today and last week. No problem. So yeah, as far as trading, take it as it comes. And then, of course, we'll have a break at the latest for Christmas through New Year's, and then be back on a regular Tuesday again. But yeah, I need to do something. I'll get bored. What should I do? And my kid's going to be off school. I'm not really a vacation kind of person. I did go away in August, though. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Yeah. One vacation this year. But yeah, December we'll take it as it comes. We'll end when the chart says so. What am I gonna do? I need December activities. I mean, if you're learning, December is great to take away the pressure of trading, right? And just learn. It's a good time to learn. Really is. Master the Markets audiobook. Do I still produce music? Yes. In the middle of a couple of projects right now, yeah. So I am going to have that going on. But, you know, that's even going to slow down. Maybe. But yeah, I'll have that to do. But man, do I get bored. Pound yen, maybe it does want to go. Close at the low, lower volume. That's a good sign. If you happen to be short there. It's that strong yen, isn't it? Yeah, probably. What a wishy-washy bad outcome here as far as could have gotten an opportunity, right? High volume for the short, low volume on a break, right? It's just nothing there. The markets are saying just chill. Because even when you get moves, oh, we could have sold, we could have bought, it's not behaving like smart money's really in right now. They're not doing much. There's no consensus. There's no pre-positioning. Again, London hour trade is a freaking miracle. It's working under any condition. But I'll be patient now. Can music give you spiritual peace? Music is the most peaceful thing possible. And I only work with good people with positive vibes, and it's great. That's when I feel the most me, and relaxed. It's the most fun. Yeah. What's most fun is working with singer-songwriters, right? So they come in with a song. Maybe they just play guitar and sing. That's it. And so they'll record that, and then we'll talk about, okay, what are we going to make this sound like? And then you could even do a quick demo. Just throw on all these ideas. And once that ball starts rolling, it's really fun. Like, oh, I got an idea for a guitar part. You know, you just throw it on. It doesn't have to be perfect because you just want to get your ideas out. And it's just hours of creativity like that. That's the most fun. Then, after that, you got to listen back and go, okay, now we got to do it the right way and make sure everything's perfect. Gets tedious. If you do any music production, you kind of know, right? When the ideas are flowing, that's great. But when you got to finish something, it becomes a little bit like work. But that's fine. You got to get it there. You got to finish. Accomplish it. You know. It is paying work, too. So no complaints. David R., how are you? Back trading live. Yes, good to see you. Thanks. I was a subscriber 8 years ago or something. Lots have happened since. I was a newbie back in the day. Your kid was just born. Wow. Yeah, she's 10. Wow. So you subscribed to the live sessions back in the day. Yeah. I've got a few more tricks up my sleeve, but I pretty much trade the same way, of course. Did you remove your other YouTube channel? I have a music channel. I haven't really done much with it. A friend of mine who's good at promoting might do that with it. So yeah, once I get more, I think I took down a bunch of stuff and like kind of reset the channel. So once I get more content, check it out. Yeah, I'll share it. Still trading, David. Okay, mostly daily and weekly charts. Okay, I've evolved a lot, but you teach me the basics at the time. Still use it though. Nice to see you back online. Cool. Good that you're still going. Yeah, some of that stuff has to stick with you, right? Because once you see it, you never unsee it. Once you learn how to read a chart. But you're swing trading, so that's cool. You're just basically higher time frame, low stress, not a lot of time on the charts. And that's how I trade everything else besides Forex. I'm swing trading, I'm on high time frames. Gold, silver, oil, crypto. My voice, oh gosh. Better than hating it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, 10 years. I was a member of your old trading room. Philip, I think it was about 10 years ago. Wow. The old original crew here. Cool. I got a few more tricks up my sleeve, like shorting the pound today. I didn't have that trade back then. If you guys know me from back in the day, maybe you checked out the video that explains the setup called the London Hour trade that I discovered. Well, I mean, people trade this sort of thing. It's not something I invented, but I observed it, and then I'm like, okay, other people are doing it because I do see it, and then working that in with my regular analysis. So that is one thing I added. Not too much though. Still the same thing. But yeah, at this point, I'm just, obviously live streaming for free, just for fun, and teaching for fun, and try to do something good and get a crew. And you guys know a lot of stuff already, so there are certainly people who know the material, which most of it I did not invent. And you can always hang out in the Discord, share that stuff. The veterans, if you want. My first winner was with you. Oh my God, time flies. Nice. Cool. Yeah, old school crew. Hang out in the Discord if you want. Post some charts. Whatever. No pressure. Man, that's back in the day when I used to do this from my house. I'm in my studio now. So yeah, you may have heard a baby crying in the background. Man, I was tired back then, man. Oh, I would trade so much. I was just tired all the time. Just that was life. Whew. Still tired all the time. Seniors have also come here today. Nice to read their messages. Yes. Wixie is just learning. He's just getting on board. He's all in. Got the new generation and the old generation. Nice. Yeah, Forex Factory. Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I'm old now. I show up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I pushed it to 3:45 because I don't take a trade in the first half hour anyway of London. But I'm not all posting around and all that. I got the baby pips thread. Sometimes I post some videos in there just to whatever. But man, back in the day it was very adventurous online. We were in Skype. Oh, the Skype days. I wonder what you guys might have witnessed back then. It was kind of crazy. There was that one guy that would get so nervous, and he would make everybody else on edge when we were in a trade. Like, man, there were just funny. I told him, man, go cry to your mama. I can't listen to you anymore. Fun times. Music project's going great. I am blessed and lucky to have people who record on sort of a regular basis, who are good friends, and I give them a good rate, but it's good paying work, and I don't even consider it work. So really good to be still doing that. The Skype days, yeah. Yeah, I was using GoToWebinar back then, and the Skype for the chat. What happened to the pound yen? Yeah. This is a really slow, stuck sort of short scalp, so I didn't take it. It looks like it's really struggling. Well, that's about target anyway. Give or take a pip. Old school crew. Oh, geez. I'm 20 years old, probably younger than all of you. Yep. Most definitely. When I was 21, I was not focused on all the best things like you are. Good job there, Wixie. You're not wasting time. Good to hear you love it. I moved to another other country in I can't read. In the meantime, thanks to trading. Nice. 42 now. Can't believe it. Yep. Very good to hear. Yesterday you read old messages in Baby Pips community. Oh yeah, I have I used to be on Baby Pips if you want to go see. I was active on there for a while, just, sharing the stuff. That was when I just had more mental energy for everything. Now I'm just burnt. It's like you see those joke inspirational videos. You ever come across the guy who's like, do the minimum in life. Don't put in extra work at your job. Fuck it. Be as lazy as possible. It's a joke, but that's actually what I do now. I just do what I got to do. A couple of things. I like to be lazy. Thank God I can be lazy. Yeah, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most days. I'll miss one here and there. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at about 45 minutes into London. Just streaming on YouTube. That's it. I'm not doing anything besides that at the moment. Work smart, not hard. There, that sounds better. Right. Get the most out of spending your energy. There you go. Better way to put it. Last week I had a 12-hour recording session where I was doing most of the recording. I was playing and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, when it comes to like, really putting time into things, yeah. Hopefully things you like, if you're lucky. So, what else on the charts? So, yeah, the London hour trade. The old school guys don't know that. Check out the video called London Hour Trade, and it's on the thumbnail, so you can't miss it. I think it's the last regular video I did, not live stream. So for the old school guys, you'll understand right away how to enter. Well, then again, one of you said, who was it, that you don't even trade small time frames anymore. But if you're interested, and we've been catching those, and there was a nice one today. Last week was like identical to the one today. It was almost freaky how similar. Played out the same. But I take that isolated trade that we tested live here like a month ago or so and traded it just live on a small account. Let's see. Let's manage it like it's a real thing. And then taking what I learned from that and incorporating it with everything else that I do, normal analysis, and see if it lines up. But it's really nothing complicated, of course. If you know the material, you'll get it right away. So that may be something you might want to add to the toolbox kind of thing, which today was confirmed. Technically, that trade confirmed to short here. You mark the low and high of the first hour of London. High volume fake break is a buy. Low volume real break is a sell. That's right. It's like time-based. But if you observe the charts at this time of day, 1 hour into London, right? Outside of these lines, that first hour high and low, it's an important decision point. It doesn't mean for the whole rest of the day. Actually, I'm on the wrong pair. We took the pound yen because that was better. So that technically confirmed there to short. Because it's a low volume, right? This tells us about buyers, tells us about demand. Look at the volume, right? And you're using this level based on the low and high of the first hour of London, which seems crazy if you know the way I trade to even do something like that. But through observation, it showed up. So that's the short entry, and then I didn't enter because right after that, it starts popping up and doing a bullish pattern of a fake breakout, which exactly happened last week. And then it came down anyway. So then I get in the trade here, wherever it was. So these outside of these lines tell you if this was high volume, right, and then this closed in, I'd be looking to get in long. And if there's medium volume, you kind of got to do nothing. More times than not, you do get a trade there. So if you take that and combine it with other things, in this case, it was a 618 overshoot, where that, even if this wasn't here, this setup would tell us, oh, that's likely going down. That's a place to check for demand anyway on the 618 overshoot. So now it's double confirmation that if buyers were interested, they'd show up right there. And to see that low volume, that's it. It has not, you don't need weakness in the background. It doesn't have to match the phase you're in. It's a sort of self-contained situation. And when we tested it, we had some entries that went 100 pips or whatever it was, no drawdown. Some of them were just ridiculous. So to incorporate that with your regular analysis, yeah, take a look at that. And that solves the problem on most days that, early on, you got to wait for things to warm up and start moving so you can get something actually earlier. A lot of days, yeah. And we even did, again, if you have the time, if you're interested, there's a bunch of live streams where we tested it live on a small account. Let's see what it does. And so you really get the nitty-gritty of it there. But yeah, incorporated that in. Okay, Colby, there in the morning for old time's sake. Really look forward to see you in action. Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's really nice to have in the toolbox, yeah. Let me see what I'm doing here today now. What else? All right, well, coming down off of there was fairly predictable. It was a 20 pip move or so. What else are we doing? Not much. Eurodollar stuck. This guy is wishy-washy. How the world changed in the last 10 years, geopolitical. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. Trading hasn't changed much, nah. What's really interesting though is if you look at a quick way to see old charts is to look at my old videos. You know, you you get the 1 hour, the 5 minute, and all that detail of the way things looked, 10 years ago. You do see a difference. You do see a difference. It slows. It sneaks up on you. One of the biggest differences are, and you guys remember the way the charts used to look. Maybe you noticed this change. I tell the youngins about this back in the day. The high volume occurs into U.S. session. Until then, you're pretty quiet. Back in the day, you would have two, right? You would have two high volume points, the London and then a bit of a break, and then the New York. And the London could even be higher. Now you don't have that. You have that bit of stuff, and it's all about this time of day, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, New York time. That's when you get all this high volume consistently, always at that time, right? Every day here. And you see the London stuff is lower now. And if you look back at my charts from 10 years ago, whatever, you'll see the two lumps of volume. You see the two high volume points, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Right now it's just 1, and this is smaller. That's the main change. That's the biggest change. Which means a lot of the setups don't occur until this time of day. That's when things tend to play out. So I sort of had to adjust and just accept that's what it is and look for scalps. And luckily we got the London hour trade now and adjust the earlier stuff and say, okay, the trade of the day, that fib retracement and the uptrend or whatever basic trade, yeah, probably going to have to wait. Maybe better not to push it and try to take that trade too early because it just doesn't happen until U.S. session now. So that's been the biggest change. Yeah. The London open spike. London used to just warm up candle by candle. Now it's this big spike. There are some changes, yeah. You got to adapt. Uh, 10 years ago, geopolitically, what was going on? Yes, we can. Hope and change. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Did we, though? Let's see. Feel old now, Pete. Stop. Most of the world was getting duped by yes, we can back then. Somehow, no, we didn't. Carbon, you're in the live stream now. Oh, there you are. I knew you were gonna curse. I just knew it. You're a classy guy, Carbon. Classy guy. So the London hour trade. Are you learning or what? We took the London hour trade. You know what that is, Carbon? You're learning. You're paying attention. David R. Europe is oh now. My God, what's happening here? So we're not anywhere next year. Yeah. I've heard. I know. Carbon already heard me a rant today about the state of the world, right? My usual daily rant, Carbon. You heard it? I know. Mr. Krabs. Okay, so if you're doing any SpongeBob references, we're all too old for that. We're all too old for SpongeBob references. That shit came out when we were 30, bro. And Wixie, I don't know. That was before his time. Oh my gosh. Scalping is more interesting than other methods of trading styles, usually getting trades daily and most interesting getting results with less period of time. Less stress, I think, involved in scalp. I think everyone's different. I get what you're saying. I think some people less stress in long-term trading. I know people personally who cannot handle the scalp. They just get emotional. They start talking fast, talking too much, sweaty palms. It's like, relax. Oh, my stop is right there. You know, so for some people, I think scalping is not good. That says something good. If you can scalp and you're relaxed, that's good, Wixie. Some people are like, I can't take it. I'm going to a larger time frame. Look forward to hear your rant tomorrow. Oh, gosh. Carbon, I'll save it for the live stream, right? What was I talking about today, Carbon? Oh, they sell baby parts. Oh, God. How do I live in this world? Too old for SpongeBob. Not if you have kids. There you go. Oh, I watched every single episode of Yo Gabba Gabba. I've seen them all. Multiple times. Good show. Very good show for kids. Yo Gabba Gabba. Baby parts, yeah. Don't get me started, Carbon. The things I want to say. I'll just have my bank account locked if I keep talking. Forget it. I mostly trade daily and it's more relaxing. True, but I have no problem scalping, says David. That's how I started and learned the patterns of the same daily week. Exactly, that is true. Patterns within patterns within patterns. Same thing. You could go accumulation into markup in 30 minutes on a 5-minute chart. 45 minutes. Now I feel old because Yo Gabba Gabba came out when I was in college. There you go. Oh, well, Naomi was perfect. For my kid, it was perfect because they were still like making new episodes or whatever. No, chart moves two ways. Yes. Okay, Carbon, you can move past lesson one. Lesson one, the chart up and down. Down and up. So when it moves down and it's moved down for a long time, it's probably going to move up soon. Two directions. When I was young, I watched Brave Star. I didn't watch that. He-Man, of course. He-Man after school was an event. Transformers, of course. My Little Pony. Roger is not ashamed to admit. Well, I have one kid and it's a girl, so yeah, My Little Pony, LOL dolls, squishies, slime. Yeah. Care Bears? No, I was already too old for Care Bears. I think I was in the teens. All right, anyone who's here for trading has probably left at this point. Guys, for not just talking about any trades. So good, we don't have to talk about trading anymore. Like I said, the only real predictable thing since that nice first trade was that this was likely to come down and try to test support. It pretty much did that. I didn't love how slow it was. I didn't get in it. Eurodollar stuck in the middle of the range, not touching it. Nah. Nothing great right now. Monster High. Yes. Naomi was into that. Sounds familiar. Yeah. They had the zombies kids. They were like green face, I think. But it was like a regular, stupid kids high school thing. But they were also zombies. Trading can be lonely. And they were like, don't discriminate against zombies. It was but I'm a zombie on the inside. Trading can be lonely. So happy to have your company. Yes, exactly. At this point, that's why I do this, to teach for fun. And it's, yeah, middle of the night. I don't have the patience to just sit here and stare at the chart by myself. I really get bored and just start watching something on YouTube. So this keeps me focused. This is the way I do it, just to do it now. Yeah, slow today. We kind of knew that going in. The background is quiet volume. It took, and then the holiday break at the end of the week there, it just hasn't picked up. This is also first week of the month with Friday non-farm and unemployment, and that could be a little weird too. So, even if it's like that one trade I got today and that's it, okay. If that's the case. If I take another trade, maybe I'll only risk half of what I made on that trade, and then that's it. Call it a day. Teen Frankenstein? I haven't heard of that one. Did you just make that up? Teen Wolf? Teen Wolf. You ever seen that? Obviously not covered. You haven't seen Teen Wolf. And I'm not talking about a new one. I think they remade it. Man, I loved Teen Wolf when I was little. The original, Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf. I thought it was a great movie. I watched it so many times. Turns out it's a crap movie and he regrets doing it or something. Like, what? Talking about? It was great. Cuties? Oh, my God. I canceled Netflix over Cuties. It's not cute. What are you talking? My God. Nobody here's watching Cuties. Teen Wolf came out in high school for me. No, Carbon. Came out in the 80s. That's some remake stuff. I'm sure you don't like it because it's crap. I'm talking about the one from like 1986. Remember his friend? Man, that kid could act. Who was that kid? His best friend, right? That was a great movie. Okay. Oh, all right. Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Star Wars. Yeah, these kids today. Wixie, man, you had to be there. Movies were an event. It was an event in life to go see a movie back then, and it was great. It delivered. Everybody would see it that weekend, And in school or work, you talk about it because everybody went to go see it. Karate Kid, man. Frickin' Karate Kid was a big deal. Whew. Good times. Oh, VHS. Yeah, so it was $80. I remember I wanted a Star Wars when I was little. The VHS, it was $80. Which in the 80s is like $400 now. So anyone who had like Star Wars on VHS or the trilogy on VHS in the 80s, yeah, rich family. That's like spending $1,000 now just for 3 movies. I didn't even think of asking my parents for that. Hell no. $80 on a movie. We had HBO, so I watched it over and over again on HBO. I thought it was real when I was like 2. Like, one of these people are in space doing something really important. Anyway, we're not talking about trading. The Caillou, yeah. See, I didn't call it Kalu because I know it's Caillou because she used to watch that. Yes, Yo Gabba Gabba. Great, great show. I want to watch Yo Gabba Gabba just by myself. DJ Lance. I lost all interest in the movies of today. Yes. Oh, it's over. Man. All right. We're not talking about trading. So, entertainment, movies, music, right? It's the slowest death I've ever seen. Die already. Die. Stop what you're doing. The entertainment industry has to stop. The fake streams, they pay for numbers on Spotify. It's BS. Well, look at the number one streaming artist on Spotify. You go ask all your friends, have you heard of this person? No. Oh, okay. Record-breaking streams, and nobody even knows the artist yet. So bad. But yeah, movies, terrible. So bad. Like my wife will watch movies. She's into it. She doesn't take it so seriously. Yeah, I'll watch this movie. I'm sitting there like, oh, that's so bad. Oh, I can't watch this. Oh my God, I gotta go. It's so bad. Why would they even do that? That doesn't even make any sense that a person would do that in that situation. I can't watch this anymore. Wait, so they're in the middle of an emergency right now and they're stopping to do this? I can't watch this. Movies are so bad now. Roger, oh, so you had access to all that stuff. Yeah, that was a big deal. Cultural decline. Yeah, you could say that. All right, we're all on the same page here. Yes. We're not woke. Sorry. Number one spot is paid for Spotify 100%. Yeah, it's all fake. Back in the day, you had something called SoundScan. I think that came out in the 90s. The numbers were pretty legit for a while. You couldn't really fake it. Now it's all fake, yeah. I've seen footage of, you know, hundreds, thousands of devices, phones and stuff. And the guy's explaining, for this amount of money, you get this streams. For that amount of money, you get that streams. And it's, all different devices. So many of them, in a room. Or a bunch of rooms. Crazy. Cancel culture. Oh my gosh. Yes, I know. Yes. Everything's fake. The thing is, it wasn't nearly as bad back in the day. But you realize now how many things were fake back then. Like the magic trick doesn't work anymore on most people. They see right through it. Now it's to the point where it's like the opposite. It's like trading. Bloomberg says, the pound is crashing. Oh gosh, it's over today. It's like it's been moving up for the last 4 hours. Have you even looked at a chart? Do you want me to sell? Do the opposite. That's all news now. It's like this person is, terrible. This person, oh, did you hear what they said there? And then they give them a name. They call them the R word. They call them something, right? I immediately know that person's probably telling the truth. Let's see what they said. They're a, white S word. Oh, gosh. They have a bag of names for people who tell the truth immediately. They're crazy. All right, you guys want to look at charts? GU maybe, range break, scalp setup. Let's see. What are we moving into? Okay. Well, It's not exactly a bread and butter trade for me, but logically, if we're at this point, because you're saying if it, let's say, breaks to the upside off no supply, a test here, a very low volume on the move up, you're still going to hit the 618, which is a place that if sellers are interested, 618 overshoot, they may show up there. So your nice low volume, and then bam, you get weakness, right? So just to watch out for that. But if you get to this point, the lower the better on volume, then yeah, you're likely testing the high next. So you have a couple of things there to tell you maybe where it's going to go off of that. EJ looks like it's preparing for a leg lower on higher time frames. Higher time frames, for me, I just concluded wait and see, because the volume in the background is, of course, key to understanding what's going on. And it's just been, just to point this out, you know, the high volume points, we had some really low activity, really, really low. And then finally we started seeing some here, and it's just kind of all over the place. This is a weird time of day to get this volume. Okay. We're looking for normal behavior, right? This was the holiday flat volume. This was weird. This was also a bit weird. This is London Open volume. Okay. It closed at the high, and the result was, okay, so you have to take that as demand in this area. We came back to it and saw nothing as far as demand. So, like, are we building positions here? Are we building positions here now, maybe? Doesn't look like it. So just as far as background, it's just going with the wind kind of thing. That's why normally at this point I'll have after my initial analysis, the trade of the day I'm looking for. And at this point, set up around U.S. session usually. I don't really have that predicted. But having said that, just to kind of repeat the analysis, it's kind of just flat and all over the place volume-wise. So, like, what phase are we in, Where's smart money position from? What direction? It's all kind of wishy-washy, and they're just not doing much. It's like they took a little breather. Having said that, do we have a downtrend structure? Yes, we do. I mean, normally I'd talk, do we have weakness in the background? Again, we already know that's kind of a mess, and no, we don't. If we had weakness in the background, that would be different. And we have an imbalance of supply, lack of demand. So it's all kind of wishy-washy. But the information we can get here is the lower the volume is at the test here of this, the more likely it is to break to the downside. And it's low, yeah. We don't see accumulation here. So let's get it exact. Yeah, it's exact. So if it breaks below that, we actually got a little preview of what might be down here, which is not strength, right? Not much going on. So that is possible, yep. Based on that, if you get to this point, testing that again, we'll update it at or below, just below, and the volume is on the low side, then yeah. But there's not weakness in the background, It's just kind of saying, okay, well, you got some weakness here, maybe. That's not London Open, so that's real deal. Weakness, lack of demand on a test of support leading to a break. Yeah, that is possible. That's why I see EJ. Now we are paying €2 a liter of fuel. Luckily, I trade. I couldn't have a car today. Yeah, that got really crazy for a while. I do swing trade oil now. So I got out at 112. I'm very proud of myself. When oil was at 112. If you look at the chart a few months ago, weakness came in. I thought I was holding till 200. I'm like, this is it. They're destroying oil. It's over. They're going to make it unaffordable and move on to whatever they're trying to force, And then I see around 115, whatever, 120 per barrel was huge weakness coming in. and, a proper reaction moving down. I said, okay, I'm out. I believe the chart. And it did come down since then. Let's look at oil. Remember I told you, Carbon, I said, it's coming down. You get a break on your gas. But I thought maybe it would go lower, but then we ran into that. So there's that. Again, looking at the history of it. The higher time frame, let's go 4 hour. Right? So, I mean, also as you talk about politically, I know there was things to be gained by oil becoming high. It's just what they do. They frickin' squeeze you. We went back to importing oil in the U.S. We stopped producing and went back to buying from countries that don't make it nearly as clean as we do. But yay, environment. And that was going on before the up move too, right? This is a 4 hour chart, which I like going higher on things besides Forex. I go above the 1 hour. And you see all that demand coming in there, right? Easy one. Along with that, political situation. And I'm like, man, this thing's going to 200, record-breaking highs, right? They're trying to kill oil. And then we got, I think the 1 hour chart shows it better. Early March. Well, now we jumped up to November. All that volume coming in, and it could not continue, to put it simply. There it goes. It was green, so it threw me off. The indicator's not perfect. That should be red volume. And I got out at 112, so wherever that was. But yeah, to go to now, again, I started to build up a swing position again. Because, yeah, it's coming. So you had that. And let's see how it's looking now. High volume leading to higher prices. Not weakness here. No weakness. Okay. Higher result. Yeah. This could go into markup. But yeah, it was like if you were able to directly be long oil for that time. And maybe now again, you could actually offset your gas prices going up. Well, my wife was like, it's so much to put gas in the tank. I'm like, don't worry about it. We want it to go up. We're good. I remember when I was 11 or 12, but I'm building a position now. Let's see. My friend was having a birthday party. His parents rented some VHS tapes. Oh, that was the experience. Lucky Luke. I don't remember that. Turns out it was Lucky Luke cartoon for adults. Oh, no. That's a good story. That's a bad mistake. So his parents rented it thinking it was, yeah. That was the thing back then. Carbon, Youngies, Wixie. So you go to the store to rent a movie. So you walk around looking at the movies, and you never know what, okay, this looks good. I don't know. You look at the box. You can't go online and check reviews, I don't know. Take a chance. All right? Just take a chance. You look at the box. You go, okay, I'll pay $5 to have this for 3 days or whatever it was. You never know what you're getting. Magic keys? What's that? What else? Any other chart talk? No. Okay. Imagine a bunch of kids staring at TV. Yeah. The world has become very strange. If you're young, you don't really notice the difference, obviously. You don't really know. Things have become really freaking weird, man. The vibe was different. It was it was less judgmental. Everything was less judgmental. Now I'm really going off on a tangent. I don't care. We had a winning trade immediately in the session, and I don't see anything right now. Everybody's afraid of judgment now. YouTubers have to say, "Oh, not that I think that." So don't say in the comments because don't think that I said that because I don't mean that. Okay, don't send me hate mail. Oh, don't not like me. Don't misinterpret me. I have to be perfect. I have to be politically correct. I can't say this word in my song. You know, all this crap now. And what are people gonna think? Get canceled? I'll get judged. And it just made everybody so uptight. And comedy died. It's like freaking 2 comedians left that aren't afraid to get shot for their jokes. You know, like, God, this shit sucks. Remember, what was his name? Oh, Don Rickles. If you want to know what the 80s was like, look up Don Rickles in the 80s. And you'll know what the hell things were like. Don Rickles. Man, he let it rip. He didn't give a shit. Nobody canceled him. Don Rickles was brutal. He did not care. Even the drugs was fun to say. Anti-woke. There you go. David R. Okay, see you soon. See you tomorrow. Yes, I do plan on streaming tomorrow. Today I plan for paper trade New York hour. Okay, very good, Wixie. Yes, keep an eye on that. Test it out. Cool. Carbon, your mom partied in the 80s. Yeah, there you go. So you know Don Rickles? Okay. Brutal. God, he didn't care. Racist jokes, homophobic jokes. It didn't matter because it was, ha, let's just laugh at everything and everyone. Nobody gets hurt. Big freaking deal. He was bad, though. Now you have Jordan Peterson is the devil. You can't say that. Oh my God. Yeah, just play Don Rickles for these people that don't like Jordan Peterson. Their heads will explode. Magic Keys is a trading keyboard. Oh, I never heard of that. Sounds like more bullshit you don't need. No. What is there? A buy and sell button on my keyboard I can do? Trading keyboard. So is it like shortcuts? I have no idea what you do with that. What is that for? Dan was an early version of Ricky. Yeah, Don, yeah. But even Ricky is very tame compared to him. If you haven't heard in a while, yeah, you got. There was one, I mean, I think there was I saw a few years ago. I'm like, oh my God. I think Ronald Reagan, I think he was doing it in front of the president. Racist jokes, everything. And the president was there, Ronald Reagan, laughing. Man, that actually happened. Ronald Reagan was there. So weird. Why the market is so bad today? Test example. Well, I will tell you. If you look at the volume over the last couple of weeks, go to like a 1-hour chart. You will see that the activity kind of died out. Market took a little breather. It all got kicked off with an equilibrium that we pointed out in real time, saying the market's likely to go sideways. We don't have a consensus in positioning of smart money. And that started here. And then ever since then, we did get stuck in the middle for a while, tried to get out and got stuck again. And you look to see the volume all just low, 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 holiday. And so factually, the activity of the big money, again, we just haven't seen much volume once you really zoom out, see all this high volume stuff. That becomes, whatever you want to call that, the footprint of smart money, telling you what they're doing, how to trade. There's a consensus among big money. Now you see this dip, right? So you're in a situation where big money doesn't have anything at stake right now. They're not pre-positioned big. And again, it was holiday. It was just kind of break time for whatever reason. Hopefully it's not slowing down for the year. We should have a couple more good weeks of activity, hopefully. But that's the background situation. Big money doesn't have anything at stake right now. Not much. Once we see on a 1 hour chart, right, high volume again, higher than all this stuff here. This is not much to ask for. This is all low. Something higher than you've seen the last week or two. Then you will likely get cleaner moves, cleaner patterns, right? Not this chop, right? Lots of moves that end up going nowhere and all that. Once you get some higher volume pre-positioning from the big money, then you'll know. If you know how to read that stuff, you can watch my videos, YouTube. They're free. Then they'll have something at stake. Then we'll have a consensus among the big money, and you start working off of that, and things will likely clean up off of that. I mean, at the latest, Friday is going to be non-farm. That's going to be high volume no matter what, Friday. But maybe sooner. So it's a bit wishy-washy. But I explained that earlier, but I don't mind explaining that a few times throughout the session today. So if you didn't hear me say it, because it's important. That's where we are right now. Yeah. Oh, he roasted Ronald Reagan. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, I want the 80s back. Well, we know you had a president. I won't say his name. Who was willing to get roasted and got roasted because he's old school. And that was freaking hilarious. He roasted himself. Well, sort of. He participated. If I mention his name, there'll be a disclaimer below my YouTube video about, I don't know, freaking election denying or something. That is why I can't trade. Thanks. Yeah, not pretty stupid. Both communists. Yeah. We did take a trade earlier. Luckily, I have a setup that tends to set up, in the second hour of London session. We were able to catch that. And then from here, now we're just talking. Now I'm just doing nothing. Yeah. If that's all I get today, that's fine. I want to see, like I said, the big volume come in and tell us what they're doing. They kind of took a break. Just is what it is. Yeah, we did have a certain president recently that did get roasted. He was fine with that. That was actually pretty funny. What was the joke? When he went up and talked, he goes, "What's the difference between my hair and a squirrel?" The squirrel doesn't have. What's it? I don't know how much money he has. Squirrel doesn't have $500 freaking million in the bank. That's the difference. Yeah, the OG. All right, I guess I'll end the stream soon since I'm just blabbing. And I don't feel like risking money in this environment. I like that we had that nice trade to start off. And if I'm going to be giving that money back, risking giving that money back, I need a real reason. The president today is roasted himself. He is roasted. Right? Yes. Hard to watch him speak. Yes. Hard for him to speak. God bless his elder abuse. He wakes up like this. Where am I? You're in the White House, Joe. Who are you? I'm your wife. Where's the record player? I had a record player. Okay, Joe, just get dressed. Don't fall. Who are you? I swear he wakes up and does that. Who are you? Where am I? Mr. President? Where? Where? President's here? I feel like this is almost his punishment, you know? They yell at him after when he does a bad job. Get out there, Joe. Read that shit. Don't fuck up. I'm sorry. Don't hit me. Get out there. Don't fall. Well, I'll try. You fucked it up, Joe. You weren't supposed to say that. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. Is this a real conversation? We talk about what smart money's saying. Is that what they're saying? Get the fuck out there and read that shit. I don't want to do this anymore. Shut up. Hunter? Where's Hunter? All right. My bank account's going to be frozen tomorrow. Yeah, we're all on the list at this point. The list of people who are going to be a problem when the shit goes down. Yeah, we're all on the list. What's your thought on today's Red News Canada? When it comes to news, I don't know if you know much about how I trade. Thoughts on news is I don't trade fundamentals. I don't pay attention to it at all. I feel like the best information you can get is in the chart. If you have the chart telling you strength and things are bullish, and then you have bad news come out, I'm still bullish. You know what I mean? So news, I'm just looking at it as hopefully on news we'll get some high volume, and then we can work off of that. If you're talking about trading around that time, what I like to see is on a small time frame, the initial move and then the reaction. So basically the reaction to the news move, the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of that news move, the reaction to that. So it could drop and get bought into on high volume, and then you have strength. I am on prop firm trading. Shall I trade on news or not do a simple trading? For me, I look at the reaction to news. I know that, the first 5, 10 minutes could be a bit chaotic, but then what happens at those new prices? If you get new prices on news, what you typically do? So, for example, just for an example, if news came out here, right? Maybe it's good news, bad news. I don't care. I don't check usually. We come up here, and then you get, I don't know if you know how I trade here. You get weakness. Well, everybody's saying, oh, it's good news. Oh, we're buying. Oh, it's breaking out, right? And then you get high volume. This is a 1 hour chart, but it's a pattern. It's just the same. High volume on news, and then you come back and reject. And here you're not. That you get weakness, selling, rejection. And then some of your test for buyers is showing lack of buyers. You have a imbalance to the downside, and I would sell, even if the news was good. So that's the reaction to the higher prices telling me, in this hypothetical case, that I'd be looking to sell. You could have higher prices that are accepted on regular to low volume on news. And then from there, I'd look for strength or a way to get in to buy and not chase the initial move. That's just the way I deal with news. A lot of times, again, if we had better pre-positioning in the background, which we don't right now, a lot of times the background is going to play out around the time of New York, Canada, that time of day news, around the open and the high impact news. So a lot of times it's just expected, built into the situation of where the big money is positioned, that it's going to make a certain move on news, and it typically does, and you can predict that pretty well, but not because of fundamentals or paying any attention to that. So news is just it's just a maneuver to get better prices, to trap people in the wrong direction, all that stuff. Or maybe for the background to play out. If you've seen strength throughout the day and news comes out, it's probably moving up. But yeah, as far as looking for trades and an approach to trading, news itself, no, not in my opinion. A lot of trappy, dangerous stuff. If you're just sort of chasing fundamentals, I think that's not going to work. Get a drink. I'll be right back. Yep. Anything else? Should we end the session? I'm not getting anything right now into another trade. Let's see. Eurodollar's still stuck. Pound, we said if there was low volume into here, then it might break to the upside. It actually increased. But not enough where I'm going to go short here or anything, right? It's just kind of crap. This guy, no, yeah, it's quiet. You see the dying activity here. So I'm just happy that we got something early in this kind of condition, and I would wait for New York and hopefully the news and some activity to pick up. No, this just went flat, nothing. Yeah. That's the plan. All right. Anything else before I go? So I am planning on. I always say planning on, just in case I change my mind. No. Planning to be here tomorrow and Thursday. So good to have some of the old school guys back from back in the day. And the young guys hanging out. We could teach them some things. It's very good, very good. And if you guys who know my method, anyone, young, old, yes, I'm old too. If you know my method, feel free to, if you want to do anything, post some charts in the Discord. The one thing I ask for the Discord is if you can stick to the way I trade and my method, which is 90% taken from VSA and Wyckoff and all that, right? But I say my. Yeah, and if you could stick to that and not start, and I'm not saying you guys do this, but this is the one pitfall when you have trading rooms or chats and stuff. People just start throwing out stuff, and it's not really what I do, and So, especially U.S. session today, if you're hanging around, anybody though, Wixie, if you want to post a chart, anything, you guys can look at stuff there and see what may occur. All right, cool. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for attending. It's fun always, except for that Mark thing. But it's always fun, and that was funny. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care.